What's up everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers. We're playing Bastion. This is part 3 of our complete guide. This is a great game if you guys haven't checked it out. It's really fun, very unique. So if you haven't checked the prior 2 parts and you're just joining us here, this is a complete guide. We're going to be going through all the levels in the game. We're also trying to obtain all the achievements in the game, so we're playing on score attack mode. I'll be showing you all the achievements as well as all the vigils that we'll be getting. There's 23 of those. Early on into the Pyth Orchard level, we're going to find the second item for our pet sitter achievement, the plush Pyth, and again that is for bringing all of the 4 domesticated animals back to Bastion. So that's going to be the second of 4. We collected 1 earlier, but keep in mind if you don't pick up that item, that is okay. With the lost and found, you can purchase that item if you accidentally missed it, so keep that in mind. Again, this will be a complete guide. I won't talk through the whole thing. I will talk at specific parts, especially all the vigils and achievements. Anytime that comes up, we'll talk about it. We spoke earlier about the sigils that we would activate, and this is where we're going to do it, or the idols that we're going to activate. I talked about it earlier, but now that we've gained a few levels, we can really activate those. And I think the ones that you want to activate, you don't want to activate them all and make it really hard on yourself, but Olak is going to make the animals turn to air sometimes. You've got Lemaine, and you've also got Pyth. I think those are the 3 that are good to use. You're going to get a 25% boost, and it's not going to make your game significantly more difficult, but you're going to get a very decent XP boost from that. Again, so I will post in the timestamps for all of these guides where we unlock certain things. We're actually rolling up here on our 3rd vigil, the Breakers. That's for killing 3 enemies with 1 shot from the bow. So that's a pretty good place to do it because the squirts tend to run right beside those little turrets. That's an easy place to do it, but you'll likely get that one just from normal gameplay. If not there, you're going to get it somewhere else, and you're going to use the bow a lot, so you're going to get those 3 kills with 1 shot pretty easily. So all of the levels, the specific achievements, and the specific vigils that will be corresponding to this video will be time-stamped in the description, so you can check that out if you're looking for a specific piece of this particular video, and I'll also pin that into the comments. So let's keep banging on in this level.
Kid passes Pyth's trial, and he's richer for it. Kid ain't found the core, but least he found himself a precious shrine. Pyth Orchard, the place is a dead end in more ways than one.
Alright, so once you get back to Bastion, you can either talk to Zolf or the Stranger. If you talk to them about the plush Pyth that you picked up or that you buy from the Lost and Found, that's going to bring the Steam Bull into Bastion, and that's our second of our 4 animals for the Pet Sitter achievement.
There's only one way to Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags.
Alright, so we're coming up where we're going to do our 4th sigil, and this one is the Menders, and you have to shield counter an enemy while under 20% health. So you're going to block just as they're ready to attack you, and that's going to cause counter damage. I recommend kind of getting this early because the later levels you got a lot more enemies to deal with, so try to do that in one of the earlier levels. I think these particular enemies are easy to see when they're going to attack you when nothing's else around you. So that's where I did it. You can really do this anywhere as long as you're under 20% health and it's a melee enemy. When you counter them, you'll get that vigil out of the way.
Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort.
Alright, so we're coming up on the next vigil, the Marshals, and that's going to involve killing 10 enemies with the scrap musket with one shot. Ideally, honestly, where you want to do this is right where you pick it up, because ironically it spawns 10 squirts right behind you right when you pick it up. So grab it, get them all in your line of fire, and you should be able to get that vigil done right when you pick up the musket.
The Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use the Marshals. He stashes the Marshals' prize. Goes back to something more his style. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame him for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things hold up inside that old fort. Not a scratch on him as he presses on to higher ground.
Alright, the next vigil that we're working on is the Trappers, and that is to kill a hardy enemy with the last bullet of your Fang repeater. So this one, you know, if you just, what I did is I just kind of equipped the weapon. I don't like to use the weapon, so when I was ready to try to get it, I just equipped it and used it until I got it, because it's hard to know exactly when you're going to get the last shot on someone, and there's a lot going on. So just equip it and use it until you get the, until you get the vigil done. And that was kind of my strategy. I just equipped it and I shot everything with it until I finally killed one of the enemies with the last bullet. So that's vigil number 6.
Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid to get burned. Trap the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Brutus and Landon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. Kid takes down Glutus. Maybe it was Landon. The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a Marshals badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Soul's travels ain't...
Alright, so once we unlock the distillery, I'll just show you a few of the particular spirits that I use. Early on, I really like champagne, 25% damage, -1 to carry on, but I don't really plan on dying a lot. Grave or Gimlet I like because anytime you defeat a foe, you're going to get a chance to have a huge boost in damage. And then I also like Fetching Fizz because I don't have to walk as close to the gold that I need to pick up in order to purchase items. It kind of saves me some time from just running around. Now later on, a really good one is going to be Life Wine, and that's really going to help us in the Stranger Dream, the dream sequences in the Who Knows Where portion. And when we go later into that part of the guide, we'll talk about exactly which spirits I have, because we're going to be playing, at that time you should be like level 6 or 7. So we'll discuss that later when we get to that portion of the guide. But these are the shrines that I start with kind of early in the level.
The Langston River flowed free and wild till the Calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. riverbank swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weepin' Nellie. She sends some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. Or maybe not. The security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbrick. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. Kid almost falls again. At least she picked a good spot for a break, cause the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. They've been watching his every move. They had their own eyes on the core. But why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming, starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. The windbag's getting even better out here. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie to splinters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. She's just gotta make one last stop. Ellie gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in the Picker country. They want that core real bad. Might be they want it just as bad as a kid. Kid shoos them off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times kid nearly fell off the barge back there? 3 times. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? The other kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? That's the one. Timeless. Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
Someday those tears are gonna spill.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow her again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last call.
Alright, so when you get back to Bastion and you have now rescued the singer after you completed Prosper Bluff, you do need to talk to her, and that's going to unlock our third achievement, the singer. Technically this is missable. If you never talk to her and you beat the game, then you wouldn't get the achievement. But again, it's easy. All you need to do is talk to her about any item, and as soon as you speak to her, that achievement will unlock. So that's going to wrap up this part of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the guide. If you're coming to just enjoy the game and watch the gameplay, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content, feel free to like and subscribe. It's kind of a new channel, so I appreciate all the support that I've gotten thus far. It's really fun just kind of making content and sharing gameplay. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Just to wrap up this video, I will say once you unlock the Lost and Found, I do that last because there's no rush to buy all these things. But once you are at this portion of the game, be sure you're going into the forge and upgrading your weapons as we progress. I'm not going to show you all the upgrades I do, going forward, because it's really up to you depending on how you like to use the weapon. When we get to the Proving Grounds portion, I'll show you precisely which ones I think are necessary for those. But as you're upgrading these on your own, keep in mind you can really do this particular to your game style. So again, I hope you guys like the guide, and hopefully we'll see you in part 4.